my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you never heal. You made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Match Day Live. We're here at Shamrock Park this evening ahead of the Danske Bank Premiership game between Portadown and Glentoran. Kickoff is 7:45 with the match being live on the BBC iPlayer and the BBC Sport NI website. As always, I'm joined by the suited and booted Dave Wiggins. How you, Dave?
As always, is this now a regular feature?
This is just a regular thing where
that's
I dress
fine.
like this and you're all suited and booted and make me look bad.
100%. That's all good. How are you, Jonny?
I am not too bad.
Looking forward to the match?
Yes,
Good.
it's-
I'm too.
Always look forward to a Portadown v Glentoran match. They're always feisty affairs, and even though there's a big difference between the teams now than there was a few years ago, they're still tight affairs.
Yeah.
You know, we drew 2 out of the 3 games against them last season.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they're still competitive fixtures. What's your thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're underdogs. There's no doubt about it. They're, millionaire club, with all the resources and all of that. And Michael McDermott and Wendy Miller are standing down in the pits there having a wee chat. It's chalk and cheese at the minute between the two clubs. But, however, just around tea time there, myself and my son Levi were watching the 2002 Irish Cup quarter-final, which was the 4-3 match here. And I don't, any time you play at Glentoran, home or away in the league or a cup, there's a bit of bitterness involved. There's a good rivalry there. They have, sold out the stand behind the net there. Hopefully we'll have a good crowd as well. So I think there's going to be a good atmosphere. I think it'll be feisty at times. I think referee Jamie Robinson will probably have to have his wits about him. And our players tonight need to stand up and be counted, really, and just be tough and probably play to the best of their ability if we're going to get something out of the game, Jonny.
Yeah, I think you're right. Talking about playing to the best of our abilities, I think Paul Doon came out in the press during the week and said we probably had our best performance of the season on Tuesday evening against Crusaders. Although it was another defeat, but I sort of, when speaking to Paul in our post-match interview, I thought we played better when they had 11 men and they played better when they had 10 men. But there's shoots of progress there. There's no doubt we've had the toughest start anybody could give a team in the Danske Bank Premiership for their first 5 or 6 games, but they will have to be at the top of the game for this evening, like you say.
Yeah. Listen, football's not all a bed of roses. You know, I'm going to fire out a few cliches here again tonight, Johnny, but I just think football's a struggle. You know, whether you're a club volunteer, whether you are a referee, a manager, a player, whatever your role is in the club, if you're a supporter, it's always a bit of a struggle. You're always pushing on to take the big step forward, to take the next step forward, and whether you're Portadown and the next step forward is trying to get out of the relegation zone, or if you're Linfield and your struggle is you have to try and win the league every year. There's pressure there on all teams. It's always a struggle wherever you are, and our current struggle is trying to settle into the league still, and trying not to finish in 11th or 12th place, and it takes everything. So I'm really looking forward to tonight, to tell you the truth. You know, we're watching football. The match is on BBC iPlayer and online tonight. However, there's nothing like being in the stadium. You know, I don't really follow any English or Scottish clubs, Johnny, because when it comes to football, I like standing there talking to people and watching the game. So if you're still 50-50 about coming here tonight, don't sit at home. It's a lovely night. The rain's gone today. Get down, support Portadown, get behind the club, and hopefully you'll have a good night out. Billy's already frying his chips there. The facilities are open under the stand here as well. So there's something for everybody, something for the family. And I think you'll really enjoy the night. I know a couple of people who are coming only for their second time tonight, and that's really good. Football's all about the atmosphere, being there, enjoying being here as well as the football. So get down to Shamrock Park tonight. I think you can pay at the gate if you haven't bought a ticket yet. Would prefer you to buy a ticket, of course, online, but it's £12 for an adult, £8 for a student or a senior, and if you're at primary school, your child can get in for £5. Unless they have a porch pass, then they've already paid and they can just come on in.
Yeah, you want to talk a wee bit more about porch passes? It's still not too late in the season, obviously, to buy one.
No, I think well, porch passes are what we're calling their season tickets now, and is this just their second home match? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
So it's still, you could still pick one up tonight. It would still be good value. Porch passes, if you're in primary school, it's £19 for the season, which gets you all your matches for £1. If you are under 16, it's £59, which gets your matches for £3, which is great value. It's if you're a student or a senior, stroke OAP pensioner, it's £99, and if you're a fully grown adult, it's £159. Of course, we'll have our family porch passes as well, which there's two options there. They're both £199, so it's for 2 adults and a couple from the same family, plus 3 primary school kids. That's option 1. Or 2 adults and a couple from the same household, plus 2 under 16s. It's just £199. You pay that up front. That gets you all your home league matches, and that's terrific value. Even if you still haven't got one tonight, you could get one when you arrive. So make feel of those. Come down and support the club, support the team. Let's get behind it and help us climb the table.
Definitely, like you were saying earlier on, it's hard to beat being here in the ground, following your home team, following your local team. You know, we're all part of the Portadown journey at the moment. This isn't obviously the Portadown team of the 90s or the 2000s that were challenging for league titles, but it's about getting us back to where we were, cementing ourselves back in the league. And there's nothing more than backing your hometown team and following them and helping them along on that journey, so to speak.
Absolutely. You get to have a conversation with a beautiful man like Jonny Wiley, for example, there just going up the steps. People like that who volunteer around the club day and daily, looking after tickets, stewarding, fundraising. That's what a football club's all about too.
Definitely, but people sometimes just think that people just turn up on a Saturday afternoon and that's a be all and end all. You know as well as me, Dave, that this place is a hive of activity Monday to Friday with different people doing lots of different things, and it all comes together in a match day, but it doesn't just happen on the match day. It takes that Monday to Friday work and everything going on behind the scenes to make it work. Yeah,
and of course, we've employed Mark Beattie this season as general manager in a full-time basis, so there's still a great need for volunteers, and I suppose Mark helps to bring that all together as well. Absolutely. Now, listen, we all want a successful team on the pitch. It takes a lot of effort, takes money, and when everybody comes together, hopefully that's whenever you can help the team and you can help the manager. But it does take everybody, And it's more difficult when you're in the bottom third of the table. You know, it feels like a wee bit more of a struggle sometimes, and it's easy. You know, it's easy to complain, and it's easy to, you know, write on the forum or wherever it is. But you know, let's try and be positive, and you know, it takes everybody. Let's get behind each other and help the team move up the table. Because ultimately that's what it's all about.
You're right. And talking about, you know, people coming together and stuff, it would be remiss of us not to mention our match sponsors for tonight. Our match sponsor is GE Hygiene, and our man of the match sponsors tonight are the Portadown Youth 2008 National League team. So thank you very much for being on board here this evening with us and sponsoring the game and the man of the match as well. You maybe, do you want to give a bit just about tonight's charity bucket collections and the community guests? Yeah,
the charity bucket collection tonight in both the home and away stand is going to be Portadown YMCA. Portadown YMCA do a lot of youth work on the west side of the ban, as we call it here in Portadown. Very, very busy people, Nathan and Darren and Ariane and all of them there. They work really hard. Like the world round, things are a wee bit tight. They've had their funding cut a wee bit, so they're always looking at extra ways to raise a little bit of money just to help. So if we can raise £300 or £400 tonight through a bucket collection, that really goes a long way for the young people in Portadown, and a lot of young people who use their facilities you would see around here on a Saturday as well. So they're no strangers. And then the community visit tonight is from Killigamane Men's Club, who are associated with Seago Parish there. Obviously Seago have a satellite building in Killigamane, St Patrick's Hall. I used to kick a football around it when I was young. So a group of men are coming from there tonight, so they'll be very welcome. We'll show them around, and hopefully they have a good evening as well. If you do have an organisation or a charity, or you know, a BB or a youth group or whatever it is, and you want to come for a visit to Shamrock Park and watch a match, do get in touch and we'll sort that out for you, no problem.
No problem. We're going to take a short break here, and then we'll be back with team news ahead of tonight's Danske Bank Premiership game between Portadown and Glentoran.
Now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hello and welcome back to Matchday Live. I'm joined here by Portadown manager Paul Doolan ahead of this evening's Danske Bank Premiership game between Portadown and Glentoran. Thank you, Paul, for taking the time here to join us this evening. Another tough game here at home to Glentoran.
Yeah, Jonny, no problem speaking to you. It is a tough game. I think everybody knows we've had a tough start, but that's the way it is. You have to play. But I think for us at the minute, it's probably that little bit tougher because you're trying to integrate players, as I said, players who've come to the league. And as I said before to people, it's difficult, as I know myself when I came here. But the main thing is that we keep going, and maybe at the right time. I don't know how. That's what I'm saying. You play so many of the top teams all in one go, like 5 or 6 games in a row, and again. It'll be no different. We've a couple of injuries, makes it difficult, but it's a home game, and like we got to try and perform. That's all you can do.
Yeah, now you've spoken in the press there during the week about the 2-1 defeat to Crusaders. Even though it was a defeat, there was shoots of positivity there.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, like you said, our best performance of the season so far.
I think when you look in the first half particularly, Jonny, they started off good. They're a good team as well, physically good, some good players, and then we got the grits with the game, and probably might have been unlucky not to go in 2 up. They had a couple of chances early on, but I think the ones that we had, obviously the penalty, and then the one that Usheen squared across to the box, 6-yard box, if that had went in. But we played quite well. We had a couple of strikes on goal, but I think in the second half, as I said, we didn't do as good, and the goalkeeper didn't really have a save to make, and that was probably disappointing too. But the only thing is that, as I said, the main thing for us is to keep going, and hopefully the players can bed in quick, and as I said, maybe when we're playing, because it looks at the moment like, Jonny, the league is, you have 6 teams at the top and 6 at the bottom. It's no coincidence that there's nobody from the bottom that's gone to the top so far at the minute, and it looks like that's the way it's going to be. They're strong teams. They have good players, good squads, big squads, and you can see it. So we've just got to make sure that, as I said, that we can get going, and hopefully the more the players play, the better, and the better we get to know each other.
Yeah. Talking about team news with the Portadown side here ahead of this evening's game, I'm just going to run through it here. We have Jathryn Barr, Hard Beverland, Lee Upton, Luke Wilson, Leo Denellen, Billy Steadman, Mark Russell, Oisin Connolly, Joe Moore, Stephen Taggart and Don Tantel. There's 3 changes there from Tuesday night.
There is,
Paul,
yeah.
we're missing, obviously Jordan Jenkins drops out due to his loan
deal, yeah.
Then we also are missing Paddy McNally and Jason Akutu, with Hard Beverland, Luke Wilson and Billy Steadman coming into the team.
Yeah, well, I think when you look too on Tuesday, I think Joe was very good in the first half too for us, and hopefully the more games he gets, the better. Unfortunately, Jason went off, and that sort of threw a spanner as well, I think, in the works. Jonny, that Mark had to drop back to left back, which he is again this evening, because Jason had a groin problem. That's why he went off at half time, and he's not able to play this evening. Paddy, something similar. Don't think Paddy's as bad. He's hamstring, maybe he's a little bit tight. I mean, it is tough. 3 games in 6 days is a tough thing to do, and I think when you're looking then as well, obviously Jordan can't play, so Billy comes in for Jordan and Luke comes in for Mark, dropping back to left back, and it's still. I mean, the 11 you have out, it's a decent 11. I think after that, then you've got a couple of experienced players and a couple of the younger players, a few of the younger players on the bench. Then
you were correct there. What you're saying, there's probably something that slipped under the radar a wee bit on Tuesday night, was when Jason went off injured, it sort of disrupted things, because we were on top in midfield, and we're highly competitive in the first half, but then have to move Mark back to left back is probably disrupted things for the second half.
Yeah, and I think, as I said again, Jason's not available, and I think that was Jason's best spell too, since he did okay against Linfield, but he looked on Tuesday like he was. You were saying to yourself, yeah, he looks good, and then of course he goes off. But I mean, that's the way it is. There's nothing you can do, Jonny, and we just have to hope. Mark won't have a problem playing left back, I don't think. I think he can play anywhere across, or anywhere along that left, or probably in the middle. And I think to be fair, I think he's a good sign of the club, because he's been good since he came in. And I do think, though, he's probably only getting going. He's probably still got maybe a few weeks maybe to catch up on us and that, So, but I do think he'll be a good sign. And as I said, Joe probably played his best as well too in the first half, but we've got to have it from everybody a little bit more than we did. 35 minutes, and tonight it's going to be tough, so we're going to have to try and perform and hope that we can get something from the game.
No problem. Well, listen, Paul, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you taking that time. We're just going to take a break here on Matchday Live, and then we'll be back in a few moments with the final part. Welcome back here to the final part of Match Day Live. We're here at Shamrock Park this evening ahead of Portadown against Glentoran in the Danske Bank Premiership. Kick-off is at 7:45 and the match is live on the BBC iPlayer and also the BBC Sport NI website. If you're accessing the match on the iPlayer, if you just go to categories and sports, you will find the match in there. We're just going to run through the team sheets here just once more before we go, just to bring viewers up to date. So as we were speaking about earlier on, there is 3 changes to the Portadown side from that was beaten 2-1 by Crusaders on Tuesday evening. Out dropped Jordan Jenkins. He is obviously on loan from Glentoran to can't play this evening. Also 3 injury drop out Paddy McNally and Jason Akutu. In come Billy Steadman, Howard Beverland, who captains the side this evening, and Luke Wilson. So your Portadown team is Jathryn Bauer, Howard Beverland, Lee Upton, Luke Wilson, Leo Donnellan, Billy Steadman, Mark Russell, Oisin Connolly, Joe Moore, Stephen Taggart and Don Tantel. The substitutes this evening for Portadown are Roden McKenna, Jack Evans, Catligo Machigo, Reece Jordan, Jonah Mitchell, Jack Ovens and Jack Willis. The Glentoran team this evening is Aaron McCarry, Marcus Kane, Aidan Wilson, Seamus McCartan, Reece Marshall, Jay Donnelly, Rory Donnelly, James Singleton, Sean Murray, Paddy McLean, Connor McManaman, and their substitute bench has Oliver Webber, Bobby Burns, Ollie Roy, Joe Crow, Daniel Perkis, Oliver Plum and Aaron Whiteman finally. So we'll do a bit of housework here before we leave you this evening. As I said, the match is live on the BBC iPlayer and BBC Sport NI website. As always, We Are Ports TV will have highlights of the game. They should be available from tomorrow afternoon or evening. Our match sponsors, which we want to thank ahead of this evening, is GE Hygiene, and also our man of the match sponsors, which are Portadown Youth 2008's National League team. As Dave was saying, our charity bucket collectors tonight are Portadown YMCA, with our community guests, our Killigamane Men's Club, and they're associated with Seago Parish. So, just before I go, a reminder, Portadown against Glentoran, kick-off is 7:45 and it is available on the BBC iPlayer and BBC Sport NI website, with updates always on the official club social media channels on Twitter and Facebook. So, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Until next time, goodbye.